Hey, what's good? When this at 9 in the clutch, I want to talk about some breaking news going on around the NBA right now, and that is Pascal Siakam has just agreed to re-sign with the Indiana Pacers for 4 years, $189.5 million, which is very impressive. And this is just coming off some recent news that the NBA is now allowing free agents to be able to talk and negotiate with teams basically as soon as the finals are over, which is common sense. But like before, there was like, I say that because before teams and players would like negotiate deals basically under the table just before the mandatory period where you're allowed to talk during free agency, and it cost several teams a late draft pick, or they got fined because of it. So now, because of the harsh criticism that the league has received, now they're basically like easing off on that, and it makes sense, to be able to, because at the end of the day, I mean, these guys are just talking, and I don't even know why we have to have that discussion to begin with. But anyway, it's a great deal for both sides. Pascal Siakam, he has shown he's a great player, and he's been an amazing improvement for the Indiana Pacers. They've always been like in the middle of the pack, especially in the Eastern Conference. But this year they were able to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics. Now, granted, the Celtics were the better team, eventually became the champions. But the fact that the Pacers were able to make it this far does say a lot, because the Pacers, like I said, they were always in the middle of the pack. It's always between either the Celtics, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Miami Heat, and you can maybe throw in the Knicks or the Sixers, but it was mainly those three teams that I just mentioned, the Bucks, Celtics, and Heat, that are always in the thick of things, that are most likely in the Eastern Conference Finals for these past few seasons. And the Pacers were like slowly but surely trying to sneak their way in, and now they were able to, with Pascal Siakam, somebody who has proven experience, especially as a champion, he was able to help guide the Pacers to be able to get to the Eastern Conference Finals and be able to stretch and maximize their talent, because he is a great player. He can space the floor. He's a really good on the perimeter, and he's able to, like, when he has to be, he can be the number one option if Tyrese Haliburton has an off night. Now, we have seen that it shouldn't work every single night, because we saw before he got traded to Indiana, when he was in Toronto, how the Toronto Raptors, they were struggling mightily. They were like middle of the pack or below average team, with Pascal consistently being the number one option. So now, but like when they won the championship back in 2019, the Toronto Raptors, Pascal Siakam was the number two option, and he was able to complement Kawhi Leonard, who was a proven superstar, to be able to get them their championship. And Siakam now has a chance to sort of repeat that process with Tyrese Haliburton clearly being the number one guy for Indiana. This formula is showing that it has worked, because Pascal Siakam, he's a great player. He's an all-star caliber player, but he's a good number two piece for a potential championship winning team. And I want to talk about some stats ever since he got to Indiana. During the regular season, he averaged 21.3 points per game, 7.8 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 0.8 steals, 0.4 blocks, shooting 54.9% from the field, which is really good, and shooting 38.6 from three-point range, which is near elite status, while having 1.4 turnovers. And in the playoffs, he also was able to maintain his averages, having 21.6 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 3.8 assists, the same steals and blocks, 0.8 and 0.4 respectively, shooting 54.1% from the field. He had a dip in his three-point percentage in 29.8, but at least he was able to lower his turnovers of 1.1. And with that being said, like Pascal Siakam overall, he's just a great player for the Pacers. I mean, the Pacers, things were not working out with Bruce Brown. Even Tyrese Haliburton mentioned it, how it was just not a good fit ever since they signed Brown, who was from the championship winning Denver Nuggets the previous year. And the fact they were able to get Pascal Siakam, who was able to buy in to the Pacers, to their offense and their game plan, and he's able to like complement Tyrese Haliburton, and he's a player that Haliburton respects and appreciates, while also, which is another thing like that is, I believe, is key that helped the Pacers get to the Eastern Conference Finals, was the fact they were able to all be together, united, and respect one another as teammates. Whereas the previous guy, Bruce Brown, didn't fully buy into their system, which can cause turmoil, and it could cause any team to underachieve. Whereas with someone who is a really good player and respects and appreciates their squad, they were able to overachieve. So it's a big difference right there. And I believe this is going to be really good for the Indiana Pacers. I like what they're doing. They seem to have really good pieces around, with Tyrese Haliburton leading the way, having Pascal Siakam as your number 2 option, and being able to have Miles Turner still in the mix, who's a great center. He's someone that I'm sure a lot of teams would love to have, with his length and his ability to be able to go on the inside paint, and he's just a really good piece to have around. So yeah, there's a lot of good things around Indiana right now with how far they're able to get, and I believe the Pacers have the chance to do something really good. Maybe they could get maybe a couple more pieces to maybe compete with Boston, so they could have made the series more competitive, or maybe the Pacers will possibly run it back, because they probably could have believed that Tyrese Haliburton being healthy could have been the difference between them making it to the finals or not. We'll have to wait and see. But overall, I like this move for both the Pacers and Pascal Siakam. Pacer fans, let me know what you guys think down below. Do you guys like the signing? Was it too much money? Do you believe it was the right move? How do you feel about him overall? And do you believe you guys can come back and be able to not only get back to the Eastern Conference Finals, but potentially even make it to the finals and win? I would love to hear you guys out in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for your time. I certainly love and appreciate every single last one of y'all. God bless, and talk soon.